Hey, what's up, everybody? I just put a big crypto update out, so go ahead and take a look at that if you haven't already. This video is just to kind of go over a couple things that I missed, and one of those things is I had a request to look at the ratio between Theta and Theta Fuel. So this chart right here is Theta Fuel versus Theta, which means if the chart goes up, Theta Fuel is winning against Theta. If the chart goes down, that means Theta is winning. So, however you're positioned, right? I'm sure you own both Theta and Theta Fuel. But this chart can kind of give you maybe an indication of which one you would more want to be holding. For me, just looking at the chart, it's very hard to read. I'm not sure what is going on here. This chart is more, isn't a trending chart. I would say it's more of an oscillation. So the way I would play this, I would want to be very careful, but I'd put my line right there, and then I would put a line right about there. And basically the way I would play this is to say, if we get up here, I would trade my Theta Fuel for Theta. If we get back down here, I would trade my my Theta back into Theta Fuel, right? So again, if we get up here, maybe consider swapping some Theta Fuel for your Theta, and if we get down here, maybe consider swapping some Theta Fuel for Theta. So that's kind of how I look at it. I'm not too sure anything more. We did have a pretty big pullback here, and we broke the low. So if you swapped your Theta for Theta Fuel down here, that would have actually been a good trade right there. We shot up pretty strongly, right, for the price of Theta Fuel. So I would imagine Theta itself is kind of taking over. This is the weekly chart too, so if I zoom in, it gets even. So basically that big pump we had with Theta, right? Theta Fuel really didn't get to participate as much, but again, Theta Fuel is building that big running flat. So we started down here, right? And it looks like 1, 2, 3. It looks like we need maybe one more wave. So looking at the daily chart, this is not financial advice. I wouldn't be messing with your Theta. I wouldn't be messing with your Theta Fuel, but it's just a good indicator of what you can do. So what I did was I went to the Theta Fuel chart, and then on this side right here, you can type in Theta, and you can get any currency. So I could put Theta Fuel against XRP, for example, and you can see Theta Fuel is it's climbing against XRP, which means Theta Fuel is winning against XRP. Let's see, let's zoom out a little bit more. So yeah, you kind of have a better picture here. So it actually looks bullish compared to XRP. So maybe I might swap some XRP for more Theta Fuel. Let me know if I should do that in the comment section. It's only 3 waves, 1, 2, 3, and then we have another 1, 2, 3. And it appears we're sort of right in the middle here of this retracement. So there's no real clear indication what it's going to do. I would probably wait for a pullback and then maybe get it back up here. It's hard to say, but that's XRP. It, you know, kind of doesn't mean too much because most people, I think, want to know the ratio between Theta Fuel and Theta. So right now the ratio is 0.044. So if we get up to, you know, 0.07, I would consider swapping. If we get back down here to 0.03, I would consider swapping my Theta for Theta Fuel. So if one becomes undervalued compared to the other one, that would be sort of a good indicator. Maybe you might want to swap. But really, you can't go wrong with either way. Like, for example, let's say I swapped some Theta Fuel, or let's say I swapped some Theta for Theta Fuel, and, you know, the price sort of got out of hand. So, actually, let me say it like this. Let's say we get back down here and I swapped some Theta for Theta Fuel because it's cheap, it's undervalued compared to Theta. But then we kind of come down one more time, right? And we sort of make this wave up, this counter wave down, and we get back down in here. Am I going to panic and then swap it all back? No, I would just hodl it, because eventually it'll start to work its way back up. So, but I wouldn't expect that. I would expect more of this range holding in here, unless one has a big breakout. Now, if this chart had a big break above that line and it got, like, say, way up here, then I would definitely sell my Theta Fuel for Theta, and then also vice versa. Right? So you kind of have to figure out your own strategy and what you want to do. But that's kind of what this chart is saying. Right now we're in the middle here, so it's tough to say. There's no real Elliott wave count. I mean, it looks like you have 1, 2, or 1, 2, 3. I would say 1, 2, 3. So this could be finishing the correction. This could be a big impulse. Maybe we get a three-way pullback and then we continue higher. I don't know. I have to wait and see. But it actually looks pretty good. Maybe wait until we back test the bull market support band. That's probably what I would wait for if I was going to do anything. So yeah, that's the ratio between Theta and Theta Fuel itself. Now I can flip it upside down. So this means if the price goes up, Theta is winning. If the price goes down, Theta Fuel is winning. So does it look any different than, you know? Not really. It's still kind of unknown to me. Now you could widen the range a little bit, and basically I'll flip it right back, right side up again. So basically, if we get down here, right, that would be a good area to load up on Theta Fuel, right? And if we get back up here, that would be maybe a good spot to load up on Theta. And right now we're closer to this than we are to this. So we'll see. There's not a lot of data on this chart, so it's tough to know exactly where the ranges are respected. I would definitely say this is the most respected, and this is kind of some deviations down in here. But you also got, you know, some price movement up here too. But as of now, I would just, you know, take it with a grain of salt and think about what's best for you. Other thing I forgot to mention is Ethereum. Right? Ethereum had a massive pump to the upside. I mean, look at that thing. That thing is huge. That's this is actually the market cap of Ethereum. Let's see if I can find the price. So looking at the 5-day candle, I mean, that thing is massive. Let's go to the let's go to the daily chart first. So, I mean, yeah, it was a beautiful correction. I mean, obviously, right? It appeared like it was in a like a falling wedge of some kind, right? And when you fall, you have three. You had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You built a base on top of the bull market support band at the bottom of the falling wedge. So this massive move is not surprising at all. I mean, it's kind of like the ETF thing was kind of like the push. And I think what's happening here with the ETF, right? Because initially, right, the SEC wanted to sue Ethereum, and I think maybe that still is the case. But I think they're gonna maybe allow the ETF because the Democrats, the Gary Gensler pipeline, the Democrats puppets that control the SEC, and vice versa, right? I mean, they're all corrupt at the end of the day, but they are losing favor with the American support. So, they need to make it look like they actually care about crypto, even though they don't. It's a threat to their system, right? They want a tyrannical, deep state, CBDC, total control system. So crypto is just in the way. But I think for the election purpose, right, because it's coming up very soon, they're acting like, okay, yeah, we'll approve the ETF, it's at a 75%, so we'll see what they do. Kind of like how they did it with Bitcoin, right? They don't want real regulation. They want each coin to have their ETF so that they can micromanage all of it rather than just having a whole regulated space. So that's kind of what is happening with the SEC. Are they going to approve it? I don't know. We'll see how that plays out. Hopefully they do, right? Hopefully they do. But, this is a pretty big move here. So either it's going to collapse on itself from being fake news, right? And the way that could look is basically what we were talking about before, which the possibility of an ABC. So we have an A, right? We come up for B, and then we come down for C. So we have an A, B, C. And then we build support, then we go. So this is just a trap. That's a big trap right there, right? And that gets us down to September, November, right before the election. Maybe that's something that plays out. I mean, it certainly could look like that could be the case. The other idea is to say that this is a rise, crash, retrace. Now we're going to go down into reaccumulation, then we're going to go sideways, then we're going to break out, right? So basically building a base here. That could definitely be a situation. We went up pretty quickly, so I mean, let's look here on the 1 hour here. I mean, that was a pretty big wave. We had a perfect a 1-2-1-2 here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 1, 2, all of this is 3. Now we're getting 4, then we get 5. Just have to wait and see about how this is going to play. It's still very early. You don't really want to make too many decisions before you want to allow this to work itself out. But that's why it's not helpful. Just zoom out a little bit. The bigger picture says, hey, we sliced through a lot of retracement levels, and we're currently right at the 786. We busted through the 702, and we're right in between here. So that's a very good sign. So that would be, one case. The other idea, right, is to say that we come all the way down here and we back test. So, some kind of bigger, you know, 1 2 1 2, right? So 1 2 1, we come down, we back test, you know, all of this is resistance, right? We come all the way down and we make it the new support. 1 2 1 2, then we build a base, then we explode to the moon. That could totally happen. Yeah, so that would be another idea. So far, 3 ideas: rise, crash, retrace, reaccumulation, right? Blast off, or A, B, C, blast off, or back testing this area here. The other idea, I'm moving most bearish to bullish, is we basically flag out a little bit here with a little ABC, or maybe it's done now, right? Maybe some type of flag, and then bam, we hit the top. And then we kind of flag out a little bit more before making a bigger move. So then that would be 1 2 3 4 and then 5. So we're in the middle of the third wave for the price of Ethereum. But yeah, I'm not sure which one it's going to be. Now, we are right at resistance here. So if I put this right here, you could see the resistance. I mean, we are kind of above it. I mean, we did break through it, right? So we are above it. So if this thing, what I would prefer, right? Remember in the previous video, I talked about, real quick with the price of Bitcoin, is this going to come down here and back test and then continue higher like the fractal? Remember the fractal I showed? Or is this not done? This is a 1 2, all of this is 3, then we're getting 4, then we still have one more wave to go, and then we flag out. So there's 2 ideas for Bitcoin. I talked about it on the previous video. But yeah, here's that video here. I just uploaded, by the way, as I recorded this video. So if we get another wave, right, if this comes down a little bit and we get another wave, then what I would really like to see is this area here to hold as support, right? So we break that wave. So now we have 5 waves, right? Because it looks like that, right? We have 1 2 3. Let's get wave 4 and then get wave 5. And maybe wave 5 can get way up here. Then we have an ABC, or we flag out a little bit, right? Let me extend this out a little bit more. And essentially, we would be back testing here, right? Because all of this is resistance. We flag out here, wave 4. We break the resistance. We have a bigger ABC, a bigger flag here. We build our base on top of this support, holding support, and then go for the big shot to the upside. So that's kind of how I would like to see it play out. Obviously, the other idea is, you know, we come down here and we retest 50% of this wave. You know, I always say, like, you take the whole wave, right, and then you just cut it in half. So we come down here, ABC, we retrace 50% of that wave, and then continue pumping, right? Maybe we build a base on top of it. So I don't know. I think we're going to have to be correcting here for a little bit unless we get another hit to the high. But I rest assured a bigger correction is coming for the price of Ethereum. Do we have any sequential? Yeah, so we have a 9. Look at that. We have a 4-hour 9. So either we get a 1 to 4 candle correction and a breakout, or we're probably gonna reverse for a little while. Look at this 9 here. We came up, came right back down. Same area too. This line here, we came up, came right back down. So, I mean, I could just take a little bars pattern for visual purposes here. Something like that. I don't think it's going to look like that, but I'm just showing you something like that here. So, you know, back to Bitcoin, or this could be an ABC where you have A, you come down for B, and then now you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for wave C. So A, B, C. You get in everybody bullish, and then you take it back down to the bull market support band. And then you kind of continue doing something like that. Now that would be painful and that would kind of suck. I'm not even sure how that would work, because if it looked like that, it would most likely break back down to the downside. But yeah, just kind of a wait and see moment here. Let's look at the small time frames real quick. So, you know, this could be an ABC, right? A, B, C. And then in wave C, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. But is 5 finished, or is it a 1, 2, and now we're going down for 3, 4, 5? So the whole thing would be 5 waves. So 1, 2, all of this is 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for wave 5. Because each wave you need 5 subwaves, especially the third, and a lot of times the fifth as well. Not so much on the first. I mean, you do on the more of the microstructure, but I don't know. I kind of like it here a little bit. We kind of built a little box here. We broke the box. We got everybody bearish, and then it kind of shot back up, and now it's kind of flagging out. So if we get another pump up here and we break that, I want to see a hold support right there before either deciding back up, right? If not, we come up here and then we get knocked back down for one more wave. And yeah, we'll see. But I kind of want it to hold above this low, right? So we'll see about that. And again, worst case scenario, we come down and we back test 67, between 66 and, no, I'm sorry, 60, between 67 and 68. Okay, and right now we're, 69 and a half. So, when we hit that 70K area, we were at $70,000 for a while, right? We had 71. I mean, we got as high as almost $72,000, and we just played around, and then bam, it got rejected. So it's got to come back down, find some support. It's got to lure in new buyers, right? Because a lot of the people kind of let the rally go. They didn't want to chase it. They said, you know what, I'm going to wait for a pullback. Well, everybody, here's your chance. What are you going to do about it? Did they get spooked and say, you know what, I'm not interested anymore? Or are they saying, yeah, I want to buy it? Or maybe they're waiting for lower prices. We'll have to wait and see. But again, the retracement level, if I measure it from the third, I mean, we're technically right at that 50% line. So we're right in that threshold for a potential reversal to occur. I just don't know if it's going to be a part of a bigger correction, right? It can get complex. So what I mean by that is we have ABC, right? And then you come up ABC, and then you come down ABC like that. And then it turns into a complex ABC before you break out. And then if that's the case, then it would be the idea number one, which is the fractal I showed before. So the BCB fractal, basically this one right here. So That's what happened last time during that correction. We pulled back like that. Now on Ethereum on the small time frame, this could be some type of flat, right? You have A, B. We can come down for C for a flat and then pump to the upside. Running flat, expanded flat. Just for this wave though, again, it can turn into a more complex wave. And there's no sense of trying to figure it out. We'll just get there when we get there. Just wanted to give us a little update, mainly on the theta ratio and Ethereum. So all in all, looking very good, very bullish. Let's get a little correction and keep the momentum going, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, not financial advice. I will catch you guys on the next one. Cheers.